Hey, I don't believe in introductions. War and Peace is generally thought to be one of the greatest novels ever written, remarkable for its breadth and unity. As from the old version of Wikipedia, I think the new version of Wikipedia hates him. So the Russian state had always been extremely traditional and had a big aristocracy, top heavy, lots of lords and landowners, etc. As it got modern, jobs started moving to the cities, and Tolstoy started writing about all these problems where people started getting disconnected from work, and of course, big cities, big problems, social ills. Tolstoy was looking at modern life, which was modern in the 1880s when he wrote this, and people were just going in the cities, social ills, they were unhappy, they were kind of sick, they couldn't connect with other people, they felt guilty. It's sort of illnesses of the soul, if that makes sense. And he spent a lot of time writing this essay. It's pretty clear to me, a great deal of thought. And I'm going to skip the first paragraph. Sorry, I'm not going to tell you why this essay is important. I'm going to try to read the essay and tell you why each paragraph is still relevant. I'm going to skip the first paragraph here, go right into the second. I think that many will come to the point which I have attained, because if the people of our sphere, of our caste, will only take a serious look at themselves, then young persons who are in search of personal happiness will stand aghast at the ever-increasing wretchedness of their life, which is plainly leading them to destruction. Conscientious people will be shocked at the cruelty and the illegality of their life, and the timid people will be terrified by the danger of their mode of life. What does it mean when modern life isn't getting better? When the problems with modern life are just getting worse? When the hope that you sort of banked on just drifts away? Let's start with this third paragraph, because Tolstoy is still getting more serious. However much we rich people may reform, however much we may bolster up this delusive life of ours with the aid of our science and art, this life will become, with every year, both weaker and more diseased. With every year, the number of suicides and the refusals to bear children will increase. With every year, we shall feel the growing sadness of our life. With every generation, the new generations of people of this sphere of society will become more puny. You might think that Tolstoy would lay out some hope in this essay, but you're wrong. He starts out, it's obvious in this path, in the argumentation of the comforts and the pleasures of life, the path of when we have every sort of cure, when we have every sort of medication for the improvement. We can improve sight, hearing, we can improve appetite, we can have false teeth, we can have false hair, respiration, body massage. Is there any salvation? No. Are the people who use all these things, are they healthier? Are they stronger? And Tolstoy, he's complaining that why is it that the poor people healthier? Why are they healthier? And why are the rich people? Why are they dependent on all these medications, all these treatments, all this stuff over and over? And why does everybody know this? Why does everybody know that when you're out there doing stuff every day, that's when you feel okay, and when you're rich and you have the things, that's when you need the treatments? Why is that? Tolstoy's fifth paragraph, the inconsistency of our life with our conscience. However we may seek to justify our betrayal of humanity to ourselves, all our justifications will crumble into dust in the presence of the evidence. All around us, people are dying of excessive labor and of privation. We ruin the labor of others, the food and clothing which are indispensable to them, merely with the object of procuring diversion and variety for our wearisome lives. And therefore, the conscience of a man of our circle, he's talking about the nobility, even if a spark of it be left in him, cannot be lulled to sleep. You can't sleep with that conscience, man. And it poisons all of these comforts and those pleasures of life, which our brethren, suffering and perishing in their toil, procure for us. But not only does every conscientious man feel this himself, he would be glad to forget it, but he cannot forget it. So in the modern world, how do I quiet my conscience? How do I feel like I'm doing the right thing when I'm going to sleep at night? Tolstoy treats this, he says, science for science. Even if we have an ultimate science, that's not going to do it. Same thing of art for art. But what turns out to be obvious is all these new things are not going to calm your conscience. You need to change your life. You need a new life where your life is complete and you don't have to justify it. You don't have to make sense of it. Let's look at why Tolstoy believes change is necessary. He says, the necessity for a change of life is because the requirements of our individual welfare and of the welfare of those most nearly connected with us. These cannot be satisfied in the path in which we're going. The necessity of satisfying our conscience and impossibility of doing that in the current way, our present course. These two causes taken together should lead us of the wealthy classes to alter our mode of life in a way that will satisfy the well-being of our nation and of our conscience. So Tolstoy has given you his diagnosis. Now it's time for Tolstoy's medicine. There is only one such change possible. You must cease to lie. Stop lying. You must repent. You must confess. You must say that working is not a curse, but the source of happiness. And I'm going to skip a little bit forward. The second result of all this will be, if you possess a conscience, it will cease to suffer as it suffers now when you look on other people working, and the significance of which we, through ignorance, either always exaggerate or depreciate. But you will start to enjoy work, and every day you are doing more to satisfy the demands of your conscience, and you will escape your fearful life in which there's no way for you to do good things or good work to help other people, and you will instead experience the joy of living in freedom with the possibility of good. You will break a window into the world, an opening into the domain of the moral world which has been closed to you. And of course this sounds absurd, he knows it. He actually says, quote, "But this is absurd," people would say to you. We have all these tremendous moral, philosophical, scientific problems, artistic problems, ecclesiastical problems, and social problems. It would be absurd for us to stoop to the level of work. And what? Just to wash our boots, clean our shirts, plant potatoes, feed our chickens. How could that possibly happen when our time is so valuable? But Tolstoy says, just telling us why. And this is a rhetorical question. Why should we rest ourselves? Why should we wash and comb our hair? Why do we take care of ourselves? Why do we hand chairs? Why do we pull up chairs to old ladies? Why do we open the door to people? Why do you do 100 other things which our servants formerly did for us, because we think that it's necessary to do so, that human dignity demands it. It is the duty, the obligation of man. Thanks for watching.